Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant coming at you, and I've got something different today. You know, Lou Reed passed away just a couple of days ago, and he really was an incredible musician. And for those who don't know me, I got my start actually working in radio at WBRU in Providence, Rhode Island, and I kept a lot of my old air checks and interviews that I did way back when. So turns out, and I knew I had this because it actually meant a lot to me, I found my interview with Lou Reed. And this was from 1989, actually, quite a while back. And it was right when he was launching the New York album, and which I have here, if you guys remember this one. And he actually autographed this one to me, which was pretty great. But he came to our station, and I was really nervous before he came because, you know, obviously he's such a legend, and you've heard stories that he's not always the easiest guy to interview, but he meant so much, and I was so inspired by his music, and I really was such a fan that I was quite nervous before he came. And so when he came, and at first he was really quiet. You'll hear when you listen to this interview, he's really kind of quiet, but definitely warmed up, and I feel we had a good time. You know, it's funny going back and listening to interviews that you did when you were much, much younger. So it is kind of interesting. I kind of cringe at some parts of it, but I really do enjoy it overall. I remember going to see him that night. I actually saw him twice on this tour, and it really was something special. So we just thought it'd be worth sharing for all of Lou's fans who might just kind of want to hear a little timepiece, a little capsule of what he was thinking when he first released this record and launched the tour for New York. And I'll probably go listen to Busload of Faith, which was my favorite song on this record. But I hope you guys enjoy it.
Second Avenue performs tonight at the American Cafe.
Available to individuals only. The new paper, 2730300, available at no charge all over Rhode Island.
All right, well, currently available right here in our studio is Mr. Lou Reed. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Karen.
How you doing?
Really good.
And also you brought a friend along. Rob, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi? Good. Well, gee, what are you doing in town? Perhaps maybe kicking off a tour tonight?
Yeah, this is the second show.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking in this show for a tour that we're doing.
Okay.
We're gonna play the New York album from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a 3-minute break or something, and we play some old favorites.
Mm-hmm. I was curious about the album, how it says that you should listen to it all at once. Do you consider it to be a concept album, or is it just contemporary? I mean, is it a concept album in that you have to listen to it all at once to get a feel, or do you feel that it's just more powerful as a group as opposed to just single songs?
We noticed in the studio that the sequencing really was important on the album because things you learned from one song affected the way you heard the next song. And the whole album like builds on itself that way. That's why I said that on the back. I just said that for people who buy my albums, that I thought, you know, they might like to know that because they'd get more pleasure out of it. I mean, of course, you don't have to pay attention there. I'm not, you know, I don't come with the album to stand in your room and say, uh-oh, you jumped around.
But
start over.
But you'll be doing it that way in concert too.
Yeah, we're going to try. We did it last night for the first time.
And it worked well?
I thought it was really wonderful to be able to get to hear a piece of work done straight through like that.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, we're going to be jumping to the first song on the second side for now. And then we'll go back. This happens to be my favorite song in the album. Can you tell me a little bit about it, Busload of Faith?
I have no idea what it means. Someone asked me, you know, what is a busload of faith? I said, it's larger than a spoon.
Well, with that dubious introduction, Busload of Faith.
You know, like a spoonful of faith, you know, like you're stirring more than coffee.
Okay.
So these days I think you need a busload.
Okay.
Maybe a semi.
Maybe a semi. I think a semi's driving by right now, actually.
With some faith, they're taking him to the show.
All right. Busload of Faith from Lou Reed from the New York album. Playing down tonight at Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Go down and check them out. Enjoy Busload of Faith right now on WBRU, the cutting edge of rock. Busload of Faith from Lou Reed on the cutting edge of rock, WBRU. I just happened to be sitting here with Lou and Rob, and we were just talking about school here, liberal arts. Lou was a liberal arts major.
Yeah.
And they told you you'd be able to do something with that?
Let's see. I went to a school that had a lot of different, like, majors you could have, like a journalism school, a film school, a drama school. I was in all of them at one point. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, real dilettante. I was in the journalism school and I learned the triangular paragraph. You know the triangular paragraph?
What is that like?
Oh, you
with
give
your-
a little bit of news at the top, and then you give the details,
juice
then a
and then the-
summation. But they said you have to leave your opinion out, so I quit.
So that's why you turned to music? You could put all your opinion in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very opinionated record, as are all of yours. I had kind of have a question. Do you feel that as everything in this is so current and so now, I mean, the whole thing with the Jesse Jackson Common Ground speech, do you think this is going to pose not a problem, but do you think down the line, a year from now, people are still going to be able to relate
You mean,
to everything?
did I make a disposable record?
No, not disposable. I wouldn't say disposable. It's just so contemporary that do you feel people will still be...
Some of the things that were in there were fairly old before I put them in. It's just that from traveling around a lot and things that happen in the city, those things happen every week. So it almost doesn't matter what names they had. It's just the same old thing happens every week. It doesn't matter which cop was shot or who did this or who did that. I mean, it's every week, and in every city, you just change the name, it's the same story. So it didn't seem to me that it was relying on topicality for its strength, that if anything, it might be fun if you wanted to, just to check out who those people were, and you could match it to the story in your very own little city.
And what you're doing down there.
In the various cities, because they all seem to have the same problems. But the context and the tone of voice about the way the name is used kind of gives you a feel for like what happened. You know, it's one of those kind of stories, and the names are not to degrade the incident, but the names are interchangeable in the sense of the situations that occurred.
Right.
And they seem to, there's a repetitive quality to it that struck me, so I just picked one.
Okay, one particular speech. Well, good evening, Mr. Waldheim. Definitely is a very powerful song. I think everybody can relate, and that situation happens over and over again in various places. I just was down in New York a couple weekends ago and was able to see the Warhol exhibit down there. Have you been to that at the Museum of Modern Art?
A friend of mine was there and was telling me I haven't been able to see it because we were in rehearsal.
Oh, really?
We've been rehearsing so much I wasn't able to get to it. And now I'm on tour.
There's a film about an
There's going to be
80-minute film.
a second exhibit, I think, on the 13th of very, very early stuff down at near NYU.
Well, I was interested. They had a film, about an 80-minute film, kind of going through the life of Andy Warhol, and they had some footage from the loft with the old Velvet Underground in there. And I hear...
No kidding.
Well, I hear that you're working with John, kind of in a
Cale.
John Cale, right? Is it kind of a eulogy, or is it a tribute to Andy Warhol, or is it, what's that about?
It's a tribute. It's a tribute. We were a little disturbed about some of the things being printed and these books coming out, so it was John's idea. I mean, I had my own little idea for the album. I put my little song, Dime Store Mystery,
Right.
was for Andy. And Julian Schnabel had met John at the wake and said, why don't you do a requiem for him? And John was working on a requiem, and then we had started playing together just for fun, not for anybody to hear, not for anybody to know about, just for fun, the way we started playing in the first place, before music business entered the world. So we started playing for fun, and then John said, why don't we just write a bunch of songs for Andy? And that's what we did. Try to follow his life in chronological form, 14 songs worth. And we performed it at St. Anne's Church in Brooklyn, January 7th and 8th. And that was the workshop performance, which was really great. And then we'll do the polished version, whatever that turns out to be, at BAM. You know what BAM is? Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be in Brooklyn in November.
All right, very interesting. Well, let's do another tune here, Dirty Boulevard. This was the first single off the album. So this is just continuing in your story of kind of universal situations.
I think single in the sense that the one they send to radio stations, I don't know if you could go buy.
They even sent us a little edit where they cut out the swear words.
Yeah, well, you know, if you saw me doing it on TV, you know, I still get blipped.
I saw that actually on Letterman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Letterman and Sunday Night. Yeah, it's like, I wanted the thing out because I thought it was representative of the album, and I just thought, you know, I know they're going to have a problem with the language, so we'll do 2 of them and leave it up to the radio station which one they want to play.
Well, we are
Which one
rebels
do you
here.
play?
We're playing the real one.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
Well,
What was interesting is that when I first met some radio people, they didn't realize the edit was because of language. They thought it was because of time. That it was just like, you know, the album track was 3 hours
Right.
long, and like here's. And then I said, well, why don't you just look at the times? They're exactly the same. And there's another reason. Wouldn't you kind of be intrigued? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, how bad could it be? I mean, I'm surprised they want to take that off, but
well, we're not denying the public any of the pleasure
well, that's good to hear, Karyn.
of the song Dirty Boulevard right now from Lou Reed on the Cutting Edge of Rock, WBRU. We'll be back giving away some tickets, so stay tuned. Dirty Boulevard, the unedited version here on the Cutting Edge of Rock, WBRU, sitting here with Lou Reed and Rob Wasserman, and they're signing some stuff here
Rob Wasserman of Duets fame.
of Duets fame. Not to be slighted over there. I didn't mean to do
Grammy
that.
nominee.
Grammy nominee even.
I think he won.
Did you win?
With Bobby McFerrin.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I didn't know
They
that.
forgot to mention it on the TV show.
Did they? I was wondering, how did you enjoy doing the Amnesty International tour? I saw that down at Giant Stadium, and it was really, really enjoyable.
Amnesty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one, went cross country. That was really, it was mind-boggling is what it was. I mean, I learned an awful lot about a lot of things being on that tour, for sure. And they picked a couple of prisoners of conscience, because I went on and I
Right.
said, well, you know, this is all a great idea, but I don't really believe that you could write a letter
Oh, really?
and do anything with it. I mean, it's like, they said, watch.
Yeah, and it does work.
Yeah. I mean,
It
by
really
the end
does.
of the tour, 3 of the 6 people they were writing, campaigning for were released. And I got to talk to them. Their stories are so horrible. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you read it in the papers, it's one thing, you know, but sitting, listening to this mother tell you, like in Chile, Veronica Negra, like how her son was burnt up. And it's hard to believe over things that we wouldn't even, you know, wouldn't even
Right.
dawn on us we had a problem.
Right. But so that was a...
I mean, like I'm bitching and moaning because my 2 words are taken out of Dirty Boulevard. you
Right,
know,
and
but
these people-
over there, if you say hi, you know, you're
Right.
torpedoed.
Right. Okay, well, I was curious about that. Also, a friend...
I mean, those people are out there. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we're talking other world. Ayatollah land. I mean, those guys are really.
Solomon Rushdie, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, you know, I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting concept if you don't like a book to threaten to bomb the Barnes and Noble.
Right. Well, not meaning to get too political here. Did you get a Honda scooter? Do you have a personal Honda scooter?
I gave it to my wife, and she almost got run over by a bus with it.
Sorry. Busload
Yeah.
of Faith, right?
Yeah. No, what I have is a Harley.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
My mom wouldn't let my brother get a Harley. She said we'd be scraping him up one day.
Oh, that's not true.
No?
No.
Okay.
That's a sad thing to say to a kid.
I know, but she didn't want, she didn't want him to get hurt.
He won't if he's careful.
Okay. Rumor had it beforehand that the Feelies were actually going to be your band, but is that not true? They're just opening up for you? Because rumor had it that they were going to be on stage with you as your band.
Oh, no. Rob's in my band.
Okay.
And Mike Rathke and Bob Medici. I mean, these are the guys who cut the album
Right.
with me, except for the drummer. No, the Feelies are opening for me because I really like the Feelies.
Yeah, I had a question about how you felt about people covering your songs, the Feelies, the Cowboy Junkies, and Simple Minds doing Street Hustle, which is quite
Right.
different from your version.
Yeah. Really fun. They turned loose that drummer of theirs.
Yeah. Do you enjoy being covered?
I like Jim Kerr a lot. Yeah. Oh, when it's done really well, I love it. Sure. I love those various versions they did.
And you like the Cowboy Junkies? I heard someone said that you said it was the definitive version.
Oh, well, it's because they did the version that's on the album the day I wrote it. Like the one that's on the Velvet Underground is like after I rewrote the lyrics a lot. But it has the original ending that should have been on Loaded, and when I left the group, they cut it off. But now since the Junkies put it back, I put it back too.
Great.
So I was really happy about that.
That's good. Well, I think we ought to be moving on. Here I'm getting the wink from the people that brought you by. I'd like to do one more song, though. Romeo Had Juliet. Do you want to say anything about this?
Oh, that was the very first song we did for the album. It was the first one I wrote, just the way Dime Store Mystery is the last one. And that's the one we tried different studios, and this is the first one we cut, and we fell so in love with it that we kept the demo. And that's the one that's on the album. That's why you hear the funny count off at the beginning. I mean, that's, people say it's into effects. It's not into effects. That's the way the tape went. And we got so used to hearing it that way that we just kept it because we loved it so much. And it was unthinkable to cut it up.
Okay, well, we're not going to cut it up any. We're just going to let it go here. Thank you so much for coming by, Lou and Rob, and good luck on your tour. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Oh, we still have some tickets to give away. What do you want to do? Caller number, 5, or do you want somebody to know something about, ask you a question about you, or do you want to...
Caller number 1, just give it to him.
Caller number 1, the phones are already lighting up. Someone is a winner here on the phone lines here at BRU. Well, thank you very much again. Good luck on your tour.
We'll tell them there's a quiz after the show, though.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will.
Have a group discussion.
Thanks for coming. You really kind of made my day here. Cutting Edge of Rock, WBRU with Romeo Had Juliet. Lou Reed on BRU. Romeo Had Juliet in the studio with a bunch of guys. Lou Reed, Rob, everyone. It's mayhem. And make sure you go down and see Lou Reed tonight down at Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Congratulations going out. Up at Veterans? Sorry, I got that wrong. Up at Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Debbie Field, the big winner, she's going down, and she may even get some hot wieners down at. We had this New York-style deli, and we gave away a limo and some dinner down at this weenie bar type thing.
Limo?
Yeah. I didn't know how much it was. I really didn't have anything to do with organizing the limo. Yeah, well, I don't know if we would send you down to get some of those wieners, or I don't know how healthy. We're going to seat them near the bathroom, I think, during the concert.
In the back.
Okay, well, we'll be coming back, and we'll be hearing music from REM, so stay tuned.
Sponsored by the Rhode Island Division of Substance Abuse.
All right, well, just recovering from that interview there with Lou Reed, make sure you go down and see him up at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium tonight. Music from REM. This is Turn You Inside Out on the Cutting Edge of Rock, WBRU.